Humans especially depend on, adapt and modify the environment. So it's inseparable, so to speak, and indestructible. Hey guys, it's your girl Goldentalkz. Whether you are new here or not, welcome. Just to remind you, Goldentalkz is all about inspirations, societal trends, lifestyle and people, careers and life experiences. Please feel free to explore my videos. You can also like, comment and share with everyone. The globe has been reduced to a showroom called environment. It is the bedrock of every living thing, be it human, animal, insect and others. Humans especially modify, adapt and live the environment. So it's inseparable, so to speak, and indestructible. We've been given the full potential to harness our environment, though we are still on the move. But it's very sad to say today that our environment has become toxic morally, just as it is physically. Please join me as we unwrap the toxicity of our environment. We're also going to look at the physical, the moral and the mental aspect, and also the panacea to it. I am Gold Okwara, and with me today are two wonderful guests, Justice and Queen Esther. So my first guest, Justice. Justice, nice to have you in the house. Please, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Alright, hi guys, I am Justice Onyedikachuku. I am a microbiologist. I work with Kaim Diagnostic. Trust me, I am so happy to be here and I wish you have a very nice time. It's Goldentalkz. Thank you.
You're highly welcome.
Thank you so much.
And my second guest is Queen Esther. So Esther, it's nice to have you here today.
Nice to be here again.
Can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Thank you very much. As you all know, my name is Queen Esther and I am a voiceover artist, data analyst, and I also as well work online. Thank you for having me again.
You're highly welcome.
Thank you.
So when it comes to toxicity, you agree with me that our environment has gotten to the apex?
Yes, I agree with you completely because looking at Nigeria, looking at our environment completely, one would not help it but agree with the same line of thought, right? Now, for somebody like me who is, I like to get to the root cause of the problem. So when we talk about toxicity in the environment, I like to look at the why, okay? And I also like to talk about the how. How do we get to what leads to, what makes young people, become toxic? Okay, so that will lead me to talk about the family, the house. If you come from a house where you have a toxic parent, so to say, so you are releasing toxicity into the environment directly to get it out. So just that alone, you will agree with me that toxicity in this environment, it's really something to be worried about. And I believe talking about it now, come on guys, it's really exciting. And I hope this really helps us.
One of the reasons why our environment is toxic is about you yourself. I'll say it is you. You're responsible for whatever happens to you. You're responsible for how people see you. You're responsible for how your environment should be. So I feel like if your environment is toxic, you need to check in yourself. Is that really what you want?
Yeah.
If it's not what you want, then you should look for a way to take out whatever that will make your environment toxic. Because if I love myself, I wouldn't want anything to give me mental stress. Neither would I want anything at all to even hurt me physically, not even think of hurting my soul.
And when you talk about toxicity, many young ones, from being young, you get old, and not otherwise. So it's not from old age to young.
That's true.
No. You have to, from young to maturity, and you get old. So everything you do goes down to when you are young.
Yeah.
And if you find yourself in an environment filled with toxic people, as you said, the family, it will be very difficult for you to be morally chaste, so to speak.
Yeah.
It will be difficult. And from what you said, you talked about it begins with yourself. Because if you can't control yourself in this kind of environment, I see no reason how you'll be able to control others. And when we talk about environment, toxicity and all these things, parents have serious work to do.
That's true.
Because if they don't correct their children, if they don't guide their children, especially this our digital age, because gone are those days when you learn something manually. Now you learn something both manually and digitally.
Yeah.
So if parents are not there to check on their their young ones to see how they live their lives, it will be difficult. It will really be difficult. So you can see that this toxicity has, in fact, it has gotten all around. We have to be very careful of the environment.
That's true. Yeah, so I would also want to add a point, talking about that's one of the ways we can be able to control a toxic environment now, right? So one would want to say that having a support group. So it's a support group that are positive minded.
Sure.
Say you have a group of young people who are looking out to be engineers. You have a group of young people who are aspiring to be great leaders. So they have a mentor, and then they have this picture that they want to become, this figure that they want to become. So their mind is directed to something, right? So just like a point that she gave, how that if somebody is having a protected mind, right? If your mind is protected, if you love yourself, if you know what you want, you see that you have a goal, right? Now, you will agree with me that if you have people who are having like minds, if you associate with guys who are having like minds, you see that you'll be less toxic, even though you are living in a toxic environment.
That's true.
So having like mind, finding yourself around people who are vicious, who has vision, who want to achieve something, right? So if I find myself in a group of 5 foolish people, it's a wrong count, right?
Yeah.
We are 6 foolish people.
Yes,
And you find yourself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so you get that.
Yes.
So you find yourself among 5 wise people. You're wrong. You have 6 wise persons. So we will always be the reflection of the people we have around us.
True.
Right?
True.
So if you know that being around people who are toxic would definitely make you toxic, now you look for the right people who will guide your mind, to be that person.
I
that you
totally agree
want to
with
be.
you.
Yeah.
Because environment, from what I've seen from experience, environment is a silent teacher. From when I was below the teenage age till I became a teenager until now, there are some things that I learned unknowingly to me. If you ask me where I learned that from, honestly, I can't explain. And everything happens because of the environment. So, environment is a silent teacher, and that is what makes it more dangerous. We have to be very careful. We have to be very, very careful. And just as we talked about, if you find yourself among 5 wise persons and you're foolish, you automatically become 6 wise persons, which is true. Those wise persons, if you follow them, you notice that if you walk along with them, you notice that they've been able to master their thoughts before they can master the environment. Take for instance now, if you're morally chaste, like you strongly believe in what you know to be right or true, if you find yourself in the company of smokers, people who smoke, no matter what, you will never join them to smoke. Why? Because you've already secured your thoughts.
Yeah.
But if you're not able to secure your thoughts, your mind, anywhere you find, you can easily fall prey to that.
And let me start from that part where you talk about the internet or digital. Yes, environment has gone beyond physical environment, and the truth is that I think we've gone past that stage where we have this physical environment where you see your friend, you play all those challenges. Now, your friend or whatever you do now, it's in your phone.
That's true.
And most parents now, instead of getting their children toys, they now get them tablets and phones.
Sure. Yeah,
so now this thing now is already shaping the mind of children. And even we that we are adults, some of the things we learned when we were young, we've started on learning, and we've started living that moral standard that was given to us by our parents, and now what we are actually playing out or bringing out is what we learn from the internet. So I'm going to come from the angle of you should be careful of what you listen to,
that's true.
what you view, or who you take as a mentor. Some of these celebrities, because the fact is that in one way or the other, you think you just listening to that comment that or a video that a celebrity made, you thought you didn't get anything until one way or the other. There's a way our mind works.
Exactly.
So our what we watch or what we listen to in the social media, we should try as much as possible to filter and make sure that we view the advantage and the disadvantage of whatever we hear from social media. So I think this is one of the new life, or the new this is a modernized world where social media is what, or where we dwell the most.
Exactly.
When you want to do anything, you're always going to social media. So just be careful what you look out for. Having a phone is good, but it would help you according to how you use it. It has its advantage and it has its disadvantage. So it is very, very important. If you should, like, this takes me back to where I said you should know yourself, love yourself. Because if you love yourself, no matter where you are, whether social media or offline, wherever you are, you always know what or who you are, and you always live and get that content of exactly who you are. Who you are is what you watch. Who you are is what you eat. Who you are is who you relate with. Who you are is what you dance to, even down to your music. So I think if you really want your environment protected and not toxic, filter the things you listen to, what you eat, what you hear, and on what you think about. So that's
Thank you very much. Honestly, this discussion is getting wonderful. Are we all enjoying the discussions? I'm sure we are. I have two wonderful guests today. You know what baffles me about this toxicity is that if we look at them eastward, we have them. If we look at them westward, we have them. Northward, southward, they are all there. We are all surrounded by them. Are we going to say, okay, because of that, we end our lives? Is that possible?
No.
So if you've made up your mind that you want to be morally chaste, you want to be smart in a toxic environment, it boils down to you.
Yeah.
It lies in your hands.
Yeah.
So you have to be careful. You have to, in fact, there are a lot of things you need to do. You have to set limits. Okay, that brings me to the panacea to it. The panacea to this. And one of the advice I want to give is that if you cannot clean your environment, do not dirty it.
True.
If you count the number of good and bad people on earth today, I'm sure the bad people are 5 times, 6 times, 7 times more than the good ones. And we can't just end our lives because of them. So we have to tread with caution. It's just like a physical environment. An environment that is polluted air-wise and otherwise. If you want to walk along the environment, it's not something you just walk freely and you start walking anyhow. If you try to walk anyhow, you will get stained by the dirt on the floor. You have to tread with caution. You have to be very careful the way you walk. That is the way you should think mentally when you find yourself in the midst of toxic ones. You have to set limits. You have to set boundaries. You have to be comfortable with staying alone. Just find useful things to keep you busy. And make sure that when you find yourself in their midst, of course, you talk little with them because you don't know who will help you, who will be your future savior. Mind the things you talk with them about. Let it be on general things. You don't review your true matters, your next move to them, because you don't know who means well for you and who doesn't mean well for you. So if you cannot clean your environment, do not dirty it, because it's very easy to dirty an environment, but cleaning it is the problem.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, so I think the next thing I would like to say is about your friends. When I mean friend, I mean friend. You know, we have different type of relationship. You have romantic, you have platonic, you know. I mean, the people that you share your deep things with, or the people you interact with. So if you ask me, I would advise that you go with, just like Justin said the other time. He said you need to check your cycle, the people, these deep people. It's very, very important. I didn't know the value, but then I now realized that the people you surround yourself with determine how long you will live. It determines how you will behave when you even go outside. Because your friend cannot see you dirty and not help you to clean up. Your friend cannot see you behaving anyhow and not tell you this is how you're behaving. If you have a friend, you're doing something bad and the person supports you, cut off that relationship, because that person doesn't love you. These are the kind of people that will lead you to fire and throw you inside safe, and even in fact, they can even add more kerosene and more fuel. So you need to know your real friends, people that will help you stand up when you are down. People that will help you, tell you the truth. See, the truth is bitter.
Sure,
But it is only someone that loves you that will tell you. So you don't want to be in a toxic environment. And it is not when they are telling you the truth. You'll be saying, or you're trying to, feel like you know it all. Nobody's an island of knowledge. So you need to know your true friends and take those people in. Bring them in. It will really help you. And it will help you in keeping your environment sane. To help you from, having a dirty environment, to help you. When we are saying environment, we don't mean your compound or where you're living. We mean your personal space. We mean your personal life. We mean your life in general. So when we mean environment, we mean you, everything that has to do with you, your family, your career, your relationship. So this is what we are talking about. We are not talking about your where you stay, because most people misunderstand that. So what am I trying to say? Your environment, you need to know your cycle. You need to know those people that you should let into your environment, let into your personal space. Make sure that these people are sane people. People that their head is at home. Not just people that that's sure. People that their head is at home. Because the truth is that we have a lot of toxic people moving around. We have a lot of mad people in suits. I hope you two will not have a problem with that. We have a lot of people that are not well, but are dressing well. So please be careful of your cycle, and these are the people that will help you take care of your environment. Thank you.
Okay, so to that, I would just want to add, now I want to believe that you are representing the female generation, right? And you're here to support the guys, right?
Exactly. Sure.
So now, talking about how one can be free and how one can be smart in such an environment. First of all, as a man, I would want to talk about just one thing. Now, what is that thing? Having a goal, right? So, having a goal simply talks about what motivates you. If you have a motivation, there are people that, for men, when you're not coming from a good home, like your home is not good, and then things are not working out fine. When you go out there to meet friends, when you see a guy that is doing anyhow, you tell guy back where.
Yeah.
Do you get it now? So there is this thing like, guy, I know where I did go. There is this thing that clicks in your head, like my mom is not feeling well, my dad is not feeling well. I have to go to school.
Yeah.
I have to make this money and take it back.
Yes.
So when you see somebody who is not on your lane, you just definitely cut them out.
Sure.
Right? So a goal will help you filter your friends, just like how Esther said. So one of the ways of choosing friends is having a goal. Naturally, your friends will cut out. Okay?
Yes.
So I'll give an example of the eagle, right? So the eagle is a bird that is referred to as the king of birds.
Yes.
Right. Now, there's a reason why it's called the king of birds. It's because in the presence of challenge, in the presence of storm, in the presence of adversaries, the eagle has a goal, right? The eagle is focused. And now, so when this storm comes, the eagle don't need to do anything. The eagle just needs to fly or soar so high, and every other birds let it go.
Yes.
Right.
And not just focus, they see far.
Do you
They are
get it?
far-sighted.
So when you have a goal, the eagle has a goal. It has a motivation. I need to catch this animal, and then I need to get this goal. So nothing else matters. It's the goal. So I want to end by saying that when we have a goal, when we are rightly motivated, naturally, we exempt ourselves, at least in a reasonable way, from a toxic people, from toxic environment. Trust me, when a toxic person sees someone who is not toxic, they will naturally want to avoid you, because you're not bringing that vibe.
That vibe.
Yes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So like minds work together.
Yes.
Right? So when you have a goal, you're motivated. You just help solve all this toxic stuff that is happening around. So
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Honestly, I'm very happy as we are here talking about this. fact, I will never regret choosing the both of you as my guest speakers. Honestly, the both of you are damn intelligent. So I've even learned a lot from you guys. Honestly, you are friends. You both are my friends. Thank you very much for coming. At least we've learned a lot about toxicity and how we can remain smart in a toxic environment. It depends on you and me. It depends on us individually. No one can do that for you. You have to do it yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful. Everything lies in your palms. If you want to be successful, it's
on you.
At least one of my previous videos, I talked about creating your portal.
Yeah.
That's the best way to have a successful future is to create it. If you don't create your environment yourself, you find it difficult to grow. And you become prey to a toxic environment, and at last you end up regretting it. And when you dirty that environment, cleaning it will be a problem.
Very difficult.
Some people find the easiest way. Think that the easiest way is to hang themselves or cut their life short, as we've been hearing a lot of stories on social media, suicidal thoughts and the rest of them. So we have to be very careful. But thank you very much for watching this video, and I believe you all have learned from it. So Queen Esther, you've been a very wonderful friend, very wonderful. And Justice, thank you very much. It's good to have you here in the house. Thank you so much. Bye.